Alrighty, well, we're back, and now we are playing some Don't Starve. Um, I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long, so I've got my lunch, early dinner, something right here with me. I promise not to talk with my mouth full, but let me get this started. Get rid of that message. So, for those of you who have never heard of Don't Starve, it is a survival game. Let me turn down the sound a little so I can hear that better. It is a survival game, which basically means your main tasks are to eat food, basically not die, survive the elements, make shelter for yourself, and one of the key components to this game is crafting. So there are recipes throughout the game that you unlock and can use that help you build more and more new things. And if you don't exactly know what to make of that, you'll see very shortly. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now, by the way. If this is your first time tuning in today, this is my 26-hour Extra Life gaming marathon. I am playing for OHSU's Doenbecker Children's Hospital in Portland, Oregon. They are an amazing hospital, and if you want to learn more, there's a link at the bottom of my Twitch page to learn more about what they're doing. One of the biggest projects they're working on right now is a giant family pavilion that's going to open in 2018, so that families who have to come from a far distance away and stay overnight won't have to incur all the financial costs of finding a hotel and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing a lot for families in Oregon and neighboring cities and states. And it's a great cause. I'm happy to be playing for them. And I've already raised $902. My goal was $1,000, and I am 7 hours in. So I got another 19 hours to go. And right now we're going to have an hour of playing Don't Starve. Let me get that mouse out of there. So here we go. This is me. I am Maxwell. I'm a little dude. And I'm just going to run around and start collecting stuff. And once I've got enough of a few elements, I'll start showing you some of the crafting. There's this menu over here. It lets me build tools, various lights, survival elements, science items, fighting items, and dress items. So basically the game's called Don't Starve, so number one thing is to find food. But the game is on a day-night cycle. So if you look in the top right corner of the screen up there, you will see a clock that's ticking by. It goes by 30 seconds in real time is an hour in game time. So we're going to make it in this hour, since we started a few minutes late, we're going to make it through probably 10-ish days in game. So you'll see a lot of what goes on. But I now should have enough for an axe, which means I can start chopping down trees. So a lot of the stuff in this game requires you to build a certain item to unlock a new ability. So for example, you need an axe in order to chop down trees. An axe can also serve as a weapon if you're going to fight an animal or an enemy. But if you notice, you can look at the, I guess over there, you can see the percentage use on my axe. So not only did I have to build an axe, I'm going to have to build more because it has a limited number of uses. So I have to be constantly keeping that in mind. I have to keep in mind all of my status. So right under the clock, there's a stomach, and that represents my hunger, which I can pause the game for a sec and show you. My hunger has a maximum of 150, my health has a maximum of 150, and my sanity has 200. So I have to be constantly keeping those in check. My hunger is the thing that constantly goes down. Sanity will go down at night because I'm a tad bit afraid of the dark. And I just need to start finding some food so that I'll make it through the first day. I probably have enough stuff, so I'll stop chopping down trees. But here's a berry bush. I'm going to activate this. Doesn't really matter to you what that's for. Oh, and look, I've already stumbled upon some pigs who wanted to hurt me. That's not good. I'm going to go ahead and make... Oh, I need more flint for that pickaxe. That's not good. This is... So if you've been watching me at all today, you know I've played a few story games so far where I try not to talk too much through it so that you would get an opportunity to see the game and learn more about the story. When I played Broken Age, I was even listening to the story because I didn't know what was going on. But this game, there's absolutely no story. You are dropped into the middle of this world. If you look, here's the world map that we're building. So it'll show you every bit of the map that's been exposed so far. A fresh cup of tea. Yes, this is an extremely addicting game, especially because you can stop and save it at any time. And it saves you exactly where you are and exactly your place and time. So my record so far, I think I made it to day 40 or so, which if you think it takes a while to get through every day, that's many, many hours of gameplay. So I'm not going to talk like 100% of the time because you probably don't want to listen to me blather on, but I'll keep trying to explain more and more about the game as we go on. And when I'm just going around collecting things, I'll let you just enjoy the ambiance. You'll see I finally connected up. I've been picking up flowers so that I could construct this garland. This very pretty garland on my head. It will help to it essentially increases your sanity, or if your sanity is going down, it lowers the rate at which your sanity goes away. So it'll basically just help my sanity stay about where it is through the night. Another thing, it'll get very dark at night, so you'll see, but I've been collecting grass, and I cut down trees for logs so I could build a campfire later. So let me just go through the rest of this dusk time, picking out a few more things that I'm going to need, and then we'll build a fire, and I'll discuss the next step that I'm going to do. It's also a very relaxing game. A lot of just like running around and picking things up. Most of these things do grow back as well. So if you come back, everything has its own respawn rate, so I don't know off the top of my head how quickly berries grow back, how quickly these saplings and the grass grows back. But if I came to this area, let's just say 10 game days from now, chances are a lot of this will have grown back, but it's going to take a while. So I need to constantly be moving so I can find new sources of all of the things that I need. I think this is going to be a dead end. Is that right? Yeah. But it's nighttime, so I might as well build a fire here and make camp for the night. So you see, if I run too far away from my campfire, he complains that it's dark. There are enemies that can come attack you only when it's dark out, so it's in your best interest to stay near the fire. I'm going to do a little bit of inventory management here just so I sort things where they're supposed to go. I like putting food at the far right so I can always access it really quickly. And you'll notice I can cook my food, which usually gives it some better properties. It either fulfills your hunger a little bit more. Sometimes it also gives you health. So throughout that day, my hunger went from 150 down to 83. So you can really only last about 2 days with absolutely no food, and typically that's not a great idea. So I'm going to eat all these berries and carrots that I collected up until I get close to 150. And then what else do I need? So the next thing I'm going to try to do is build this science machine, because it's what unlocks a lot of new crafting recipes. So I'm going around and I'm going to look for some rocks and for some gold, which you find in boulders. So I need to find a good place on the map to run. I got dead ends there, so maybe I'll run straight north this time and see how far I can get. Nom nom Kelsey, I can't go more than 6 hours without eating unless you want me to get really cranky. You can ask Julia how big of a butt I am when I get home from work and haven't had a big enough lunch. I basically can't do anything. I'm grouchy. I Julia does do a lot of the cooking, but on nights where I plan to cook, if I'm hungry, I probably won't say anything. I'll just kind of shut down until I've finished cooking, or I'll eat a bowl of cereal while I cook so that I can survive. So I will say this is actually like one of my favorite games that I've ever played. It's so simple. I love the art style. It's all this hand-drawn art. It's a I don't know, it's very atmospheric too. Like you'll notice it plays sound, some background music. If I ever stop talking, you'd hear a little bit of it, but it's not constant. There's a lot of just like silence and sounds of birds and sounds of rabbits hopping around, and it's really quite peaceful if you just like get in the zone. And I've played this without looking up for 2 hours at a time, and I have no idea that any time has passed. I'm gonna attack this rabbit here because it collects a morsel, which has to be cooked, but tonight at the campfire I'll cook that, and that'll be a good amount of food for me. Rabbits tend to have all these holes here in these plains, and I'm actually gonna build a trap and set that down.